I don't have any stories.
Do you want to take some of this back?
No. Hi, everybody.
You can read, honey. I would be happy to share.
The noon cam during this is January, and it's, they saw the snow.
I don't know when you're watching this, but it is actually April 12th. 2018,
and
yeah.
It's snow today and tomorrow.
Was 70 yesterday, and now today and tomorrow it's going to snow because God hates us and He's punishing all of us. So
someone didn't pay their tithing.
I think that's pretty fair.
Or someone washed their car. Or mowed the lawn. You dirty dogs.
Just don't know, do you?
You just don't care.
This was so funny. I saw this question, and you actually pointed it out to me, and I'm like, that's freaking genius.
Oh, this is very funny.
And it was really simple. It's like, if you had to get married where you first met, where would it be, right?
Right.
Now, for us, we got married. We would have to get married at Randy Rogers' house, which I'm not sure they'd be that thrilled about because that's a lot of people.
Have to be, well, actually, it'd be worse because they sold that house and they'd be total strangers.
Yeah, sorry, we have to come in here. It's on principle.
So the first time we met, you just come to town to work Kiss 97. And we're real excited about that. And we're all hanging out at the boss's place. And she was going to come and we're all going to introduce each other. And the doorbell rang and I said, I got it. And I walked up and I touched the handle of the door. I could feel her touching the other handle on the outside. For some reason, I said to myself, it's only business. Where'd that come from? Next thing you know, 22 years later, so there.
Oh, baby, that's so romantic.
I know. It gets better every time I say it.
You're smooth. But some of the answers were hysterical. Kathy Durbridge Sadler said, we met at a disco 37 years ago, and she put up this picture, and they're just adorable. And I said, you look so sweet and innocent 37 years ago. She goes, yeah, we were back then. Ha! I said, yeah, weren't we all? So 37 years ago.
And where did they meet?
At a disco. 37 years ago, they were called that. Rachel Clark said, we met at my mother's house. He was 16 and I was 6. We reconnected.
Wait a minute. I know this is Utah, but seriously.
We reconnected on Facebook at 37 and 47, and 8 years later, we're engaged.
What?
Debbie Turley Patterson, we met on my porch at my apartment. We married after 4 weeks. Yes, you read that right. I would marry him again. It's going on 31 years now.
Wow.
Isn't that romantic? I mean, seriously.
Are you going to tell them about the other one where they met each other in the backseat of a car at Hotel Utah?
That wasn't, by the way, a joke. It was a blind date. And it was 30 years ago.
And that's where they got married. Not in the parking lot.
No, that would be
at
bad.
the hotel.
Oh, this is cool. Abby Beckton, my first husband and I met through a picture. A friend had taken some pictures at Halloween and was showing them to his sister, and he was there and told my friend he wanted to meet me. So we didn't meet at work. The first time I saw him, he picked me up from where I worked, which I thought was kind of sweet. And then Susie Applegate goes, microbiology class at Snow College.
Oh, funny.
Who would want to get married there?
Jonathan
Hamblin. My friend set me up with her ex-husband, which is weird, I know, so I met him at my house, and we got married in the living room. We'll celebrate 24 years in November.
Wow.
How cool is that? Dan Bomas, our dear friend Dan Bomas, who we love with all our hearts.
Broadcasting dude.
Amazing guy. It used to be Dan and John, and they rock, and they were cool, and he was always amazing. He said it would be odd to get married in the bar at the University Park Marriott, so we chose the lovely garden at Episcopal Church of the Resurrection instead.
There you go.
And April Nat Peterson says, hey, Erin, I didn't know you went out with Michael Bolton. Awesome.
Why would you say
Mike,
that?
can you show that picture of the Facebook question again, a picture of Todd and me?
Oh, is this the picture of us?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
You were so much cuter than Michael Bolton. You are.
It's too late now.
No,
lady.
baby, you were so much cuter than Michael Bolton. You are.
We were like the hair couple. We had wild hair.
He didn't cut his hair until I had the babies, and he waited till I had an intubation tube down my throat so he could go cut it, knowing I couldn't stop him.
We did a little emergency thing with the babies, and I had cut it that day to give to Locks of Love, right?
Oh, yeah, nice save.
And so I'm running around the hospital for like 2 weeks with a Dutch boy. And they're like, who's that guy in that Dutch boy haircut? It's Todd.
Because he didn't have time to go get his hair cut correctly.
That's right. All right, information's coming up.
You still just did that because you know I didn't want you to. All right, Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She's brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Do you know that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Go to fink-mcgregor.com. By the Millennium Financial Group. Look, do you even know what's happening with your retirement? Any idea at all? Why not get a free analysis from Millennium and get a better idea of what's going on at utahsfinancialplanner.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. I would say this is a good time to check your air conditioner, but maybe it's just as good a time to check your furnace, because who knows with Utah weather. That's allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Friday, the 13th of April on GephartDaily.com. A Rhode Island lawmaker has withdrawn a proposal bill to establish an internet pornography filter that could be lifted with a $20 fee. The bill had been proposed as the Elizabeth Smart Law. Senator Frank Ciccone said he pulled the bill after learning that the man who suggested it to him was known for filing questionable lawsuits, like the one where he argued that if gay people could marry, he should be allowed to legally marry his computer. Smart, a Park City resident who survived being kidnapped at age 14, is now an author and children's safety advocate. She had sent a cease and desist order to the backers of the bill, indicating she was in no way involved with the legislation and did not give permission for the use of her name. A grandma and her grandson are behind bars after they were both found to be under the influence following a crash in Cottonwood Heights Wednesday night. Police said Vicki Lynn Robinson, 65, and her grandson, Alexander Chase Robinson, 20, were driving westbound in the area of 2800 East Fort Union Boulevard at approximately 11 p.m. Both were intoxicated, police said, and were arguing. The grandson got mad and yanked the wheel, causing them to go over the sidewalk and miss a pedestrian by just a foot or two, a Twitter post from police said. The car then crashed into a fence and hit both a tree and a house. No one was injured in the course of the incident. And a new study from Brigham Young University has found that when biology students who are given information about their own microbiome, the system of trillions of tiny microorganisms that live in a person's gut, mouth, and skin, they become far more interested in learning course material. BYU professor Steve Johnson, who co-authored the study, said, whenever you can have students looking at something about themselves, it increases their desire to understand and also hopefully what they take away from the class. Stated another way, students are more motivated to learn if a course is all about them. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's premier audiovisual specialists, and also by Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash, with an outlet in South Ogden and a brand new facility on Antelope Drive in Layton. And Friday the 13th is going to bring a bit of bad luck of rather cold weather to the Wasatch Front. The highs only hit the low 40s and the low will be in the low 30s. Thankfully, the weekend warms up a little with highs in the high 50s on Saturday and then high 60s on Sunday. And next week, we're going to go all the way up to 70 again. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, thank you, Daisy, and I'm looking forward to those 70 degrees next week. Yes,
yeah, that would be nice.
Matter of fact, if you're going to be thinking about this, think about your home. Thinking about keeping it cool all summer long, All Utah Plumbing can help you out with your AC unit and check it out and do it. Sometimes they just need to be hopped up a little bit, and they could do that. Just go to utahplumbing.com.
All righty, this is pretty cool. And tell me something good. It's always guaranteed to make you cry, but it usually starts out really awful.
This is going to make your head spin.
This has been called one of the top 10 recoveries of all time. And the actual timing of this resurrection involving a 2-year-old boy was the miracle here. Dylan Askin was rushed to the hospital from his home in Sheldon Lock, England at Christmas in 2015. Not only one of his lungs had entirely collapsed, but 80% of the surface area was swollen and cysts. Look at that beautiful little face. I mean, his sweet chubby cheeks, and he's beautiful. He was diagnosed with pulmonary Langerhans cell histiocytosis, which is a very rare form of lung cancer. It affects 1 in 10 million people. So the boy fought the disease. He developed a bacterial infection, lapsed into a coma. And so the parents have were fighting and fighting, and they stayed with it, and they're like, we can't let go of this boy.
So he's in the hospital.
We can't let go
He's
of
in
this
ICU.
boy. And finally the doctor said, look, there's nothing you can do.
Oh.
And his parents are just heartbroken.
How long was he in the hospital again?
This was actually at Christmas, which was in 2017. So it's been, what, about 4 months now? And so they said, look, this is the time. You need to think about doing this. And I can't imagine as a parent having to make this decision ever in your life. So they thought, okay.
So taking him off life support.
They said, what we'll do then is we'll do it on Good Friday. And we'll send him back to the Lord. So, I can't even believe this. So Dylan's mom and his dad were there. All the settings were on the machines at their highest, and he was still struggling. We'd had him christened. All his family came over to say goodbye, including his big brother. And just as they were about to turn off the machines, his heart rate returned to normal, and his parents said, "You wait, just stop." And so the doctors did. And during the next 2 days, the boy had recovered so much he was returned home on Easter Sunday. His doctors are calling it an Easter miracle, and one of them who is an incredibly talented doctor, he works with cancer patients all over the world, said, "I'm not even the slightest bit religious." He says, "I never have been. I'm an atheist." And he said, "But this is like Jesus rising from the dead." Is that the most incredible story ever?
I can't even imagine.
Ever? Okay.
All right, so something that's happy, but holy crap. We want to, we're giving away Christopher's steak, prime steak and chops, and side dishes are incredible. We've got a table for
Lobster,
4
corn dogs.
waiting for you. And you go down and be our guest, and people at Christopher's will take great care of you, and all you have to do is sign up.
Oh, it's ridiculously embarrassing. Just stop by one of our Facebook pages. It doesn't matter when you're watching the show. Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Just drop a worry about Christopher's, or I want to win steak, or I'm missing lobster, corn dogs.
Or
and you're
num.
That's good too. And you're automatically entered. And congratulations, because today's winner, it is Friday,
right.
is Mayo Young. Congratulations, Mayo. We learned actually that Mayo was the one who met his wife in the backseat of the car at Hotel Utah. So you can celebrate somewhat close to where you originally
So someone
her.
must have said something like "hold the mayo," and he did. She'd never heard that one before.
Yeah, I'm sure that's never happened.
All right, so coming up, Chris Evans.
Oh, it's National Pet Day. Wait till you see these pictures. Oh my gosh. But first of all, Connect Heating and Air. This is pretty cool because they have a $39 special. I was just talking to Leanne. Can I tell you how much I love her? She's the owner of Connect, and this woman is amazing. They do a $39 checkup on your air conditioner, and it's really crucial. And you always think, I don't want to spend that. No, if they're fixing all your filters and they're making sure everything's working great, and then you're not paying extra money for energy costs because it's desperately trying to cool your house, you're saving tons of money. And if they can spot a problem and fix it, then you save the $2,000 reinstall you have to do later on this summer. Go to utahheatingandcooling.com. You will be amazed at how much information there is. All right, you want to see this?
All right, go to show me some.
Cute. All right, Avengers Infinity War is coming out at the end of the month. I'm freaking out. Chris Evans, of course, Captain America. Well, one of the things that's the most likable about this guy is that he's a big guy on shelter pets. He's a big rescue fan, and he really pushes for shelters all across the country.
Yeah.
So he adopted a rescue pet, and he takes endless pictures of him. And since it's National Pet Day, we just wanted to show off how cute and adorable he is. He says, non-depressing news, my dog is still a pure, brand new soul, enjoying non-verbal bonds of love. And in the video, oh, that is so cute. In the video.
You know, the majority of the women are thinking when they're looking at this, they're going, what dog? I don't see a dog.
It's so sweet. The picture he took of him, he said when he shot a picture of him when he was still in the pound behind the
oh no, the
cage.
cage.
And do you remember when we saw Gil in the cage?
Yep.
And he was sitting there and his tail was wagging like crazy, just like Chris's was. And he said he was trying so hard to stay seated, even though he desperately wanted to get out. I knew right away that he was coming home with me. So I took this video to always remember our first hello. Rescue dogs are the best dogs. So happy National Pet Day. Happy National Chris Day and Pet Day.
What dog? You didn't see a dog.
Let's get that.
Hey, coming up next, the Jazz are going to play.
Oh, that's right.
The Jazz are going to play.
And we've got the lineup now, don't we?
And there's a warning on tickets. All right, so we'll do that coming up
All right.
next.
First of all, though, I want to tell you about Papillon, papillonhouse.com. Now, if you haven't been through this with your family, you probably will be through this with your family. And here's the reason why. Everyone has battled opioid abuse or drug abuse or alcohol abuse or substance abuse of some kind in their family. I don't think there's any one of our extended families who hasn't gone through this. And sometimes you learn it takes more than one time in recovery, maybe a second or a third time. And the people at Papillon House saw this and they went, there's got to be a better way we can do this so that it doesn't have to be this constant struggle. So what they did is they took a look at the people who had made it, who didn't have to keep coming back, who had managed to overcome their addiction, and they changed the way they did recovery, and they created a solution-based system with new set of tools so that you could make your long-term recovery. It teaches you how to become productive in every aspect of your life. It's amazing. It's papillonhouse.com for more information.
All right, thank you very much, my lovely wife. We only have time to talk about one thing. The Thunder, I think, is who they're going to play first. But,
Yeah.
But the big warning right now is the tickets.
Yeah.
'Cause we're running out of time.
Fake online tickets.
So what they're
So
saying.
we're number 7 in the playoffs. Number
Yeah.
7.
So basically, what they're saying is don't buy them for scalpers. But everyone does.
I know.
You can buy them at the box office. If they're sold out, they aren't at the box office. But the worst thing is if you got a bad ticket, is to go get there, park the car, you got your jersey on,
You
you
spent
go
$200 on a ticket.
and you walk up and the guy scans it and he goes, no. So anyway,
By the way, if you
best of luck to the Jazz.
If you do go to the box office website, they will show you a picture of a legitimate Jazz ticket, and there's certain foils and glitters and stuff that are on them, so you absolutely know what it looks like.
All right.
Good luck.
So go Jazz, and thank you for visiting with us today. We're going to sound like Mr. Rogers. We'll see you Monday morning. Have yourself a great weekend. See ya.